Gotta be solid to the death of me. Recipes in the kitchen to make the best of me. Less of me you will never see. Ha, nigga, you will never see. Recipes in the kitchen to make the best of me. Gotta be solid to the death of me. Recipes in the kitchen to make the best of me. Less of me you will never see. Ha, nigga, you will never see. Recipes in the kitchen to make the best of me. Every bar getting packed. We bout to open the tap. Just feel the fire when you throwing them back. I'm multiplying if I'm holding a stack. It's in my hands, right? Supplying headphones and a track. We need some bands, right? I'm clean as whistle and penciling up my plans now. Dressing up for office, it stands out. Let's get a flow. Parading all through your city.
Yo. What's the deal, man? Welcome to Scullyville. You heard?
1, 2, 3, go!
Man, we're gonna address all the smoke. Welcome.
What's up? Welcome to Scullyville. We in the building. Win. Let's go, man. I got one for y'all right here, man. We're gonna get right into it.
Hit with another one.
Right into it.
I remember back in the days when we was youngest, second lines and DJs had the strip jumping. 7 were hard heads, we kept them blocks pumping. I was up in Clark with them bulldogs stomping, hustling with some niggas. They know just how we coming for real. Yeah, I let my nigga know he from out the Ville. Yeah, we bout that action, but we hustling for real. Yeah, killer be killed when you up in the field, nigga. For real, I never squill. That dick Katrina came and had some niggas looking shook. I'm on the bridge with some niggas, man, they back I took. I'm a legend in the making, some say I'm a crook, but I'm only trying to right my wrongs and buy by the book. Look, then I touch down in T-Town. Real recognize real no matter where you're from now. Bow down, nigga, this is ATH gang now. Suckers and clowns, they bound to get you caught up now. They playing foul, can't pee my little nigga stuck to my hips since a juvenile. Record music, cutting class, making hits now. Trying to see that nigga knees, do numbers, run it up, homie, like juvenile.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but I pray that God can give me everything that's in store. That's for me, but is it selfish if I put out my hands and ask for more? Ask for more, yeah. Rooftop, but I height, so turn it up, run it up. Quick as fuck, then we double up. Got a double cup and it's full of purple. Living my life spinning in circles. Never had rehearsals. Preaching about practice. Well, bitch, I'm AI. Since I was yay high. Didn't have very much to say. I always been about that action. Siggity Sam stay pistol packing. And he taught me to never be fucking lacking. Yeah. Skipping school, had a penny in a dream, but no direction. Fast forward 10 years later, gazing at my reflection. Rapping, bitch, I'm perfecting. Just because you the teacher don't mean you can't learn a lesson. Yeah, bitch, class is session. So pull out your pen and paper. It's time to take notes as long as they quote everything that I wrote. I'ma forever be dope. Bitch, I go down as the GOAT. Nigga, back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But I pray that God can give me everything that's in store. That's for me, but is it selfish if I put out my hands and ask for more? Ask for more, yeah, yeah.
There we go. There we go. We here. And welcome to the show, man. Sick of the Sam, man. You know what I'm saying? Scullyville Political Sports, man. That's how we rocking, man. Urban topics, sports topics, anything that's trending, man, we gonna really be talking about. This some real shit, man. I ain't really wanna I've been paying attention to a lot of shit though, you feel me? But I ain't really want to touch on too much with that Nolan Wells case and shit like that. But I want to show y'all something though. I wanted to do some commentary about something that I seen. I'm gonna do a reaction video tonight. I wanted to do this reaction video because when you see the shit that I'm seeing, other black men, like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong when somebody's right, or like they proven to be wrong. You know what I mean? Like, but for them to be accused and you like trying to prove that they wasn't, like as if them your boys as a black man, it's disturbing to me. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's disturbing, man, and it ain't right. I ain't saying it ain't right, but that's his opinion on how he feel. And maybe when y'all watch this video, y'all will get a better outlook on what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it bothered me. It bothered me a lot, man. And I wouldn't really like. That's why I said I wasn't even gonna touch on this. I really wasn't, man. But this kind of like drove me to it. This kind of made me want to say something, bro. So let's get straight into it, man. Look, y'all get the likes up. Hit the subscribe button if you can. I sure appreciate it. Share me out. I sure appreciate that, dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But yeah, we're original over here, man. So I'm gonna just let y'all know that off the dome. We're original over here. So let's go. Let me see. Let's get it. Now, shout out my nigga Stephen A. Smith, my nigga. You ready, man? Come on, man. Keep it PG. Shout out my boy Stephen A. Smith, man. Yeah, man, he be doing this thing, man. So shout out Stephen A. He really be doing this thing. So let's go.
To say the least, there's a lot to get into. So without further ado, here we go. Get your ears perked up. Get your thought process circulating and percolating. It's time to get into it right now. My first guest is a civil rights attorney, a former federal prosecutor, and an MS Now legal analyst. He writes the What Matters Now newsletter on Beehive, and you can catch him on his podcast, The Brothers Briefing. He is joined by a former Arizona police officer turned conservative YouTube political commentator and host of the Officer Tatum podcast. Please welcome to the show, Charles F. Coleman Jr., and of course, Officer Brandon Tatum. Good afternoon, fellas. How y'all doing? How's everything?
Blessed.
I'm doing well, brother. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Charles Coleman Jr., let's start off with you. What can you tell us? I mean, the Nolan Wells case has been in the news for nearly 3 weeks now. For those who may not be aware of the case or have not kept up with the facts, just to recap, he was an 18-year-old college football player from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. On July 4th, he and a group of friends traveled by private boat to Horn Island, an uninhabited barrier island off the Mississippi coast. Wells was the only black person on the boat. Wells was last seen on the island around 3 p.m. His friends returned to the mainland without him. And as a result, ultimately, a couple of days later, he was found dead. Charles Coleman, at this juncture, what's on your mind in terms of this case? What's missing? What are your thoughts?
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
we just saw the family release their independent autopsy results yesterday, which were conducted by Dr. Roger Mitchell, who is the president of the National Medical Association. And those results were inconclusive. They were able to establish that Nolan Wells did not die by accident, that he did not die of natural causes, but at the same time that they were not able to establish that this was a homicide. In fact, those results established that it was not a homicide. Now, one important caveat to note is that the chief medical officer from the state of Mississippi, the sheriff's office, removed the throat from Nolan Wells's autopsy when their autopsy was conducted first. We have not heard the results of the state's autopsy, but we know that when Roger Mitchell examined the body for the family, that the throat and other organs have been removed. So that your listeners understand, that's not abnormal. That is something that takes place normally during the case of an investigation and of an autopsy. So there's nothing that was wrong there. But at this point, Dr. Roger Mitchell, who did the independent autopsy from the family, has not been able to confirm any sense of foul play as of yet. That was undecided or undecisive. That does not mean that foul play may not have occurred. It just means that the autopsy that was conducted by the family did not show that conclusively. He saw some trauma to, some potential trauma to Nolan Wells's head. That was not something that he was able to explain as being the result of foul play. And we have yet to hear the state's autopsy and what they found or what their findings were. You may recall, and listeners may recall, that initially the sheriff's office said that they had no reason to suspect that foul play was afoot. And what I would say that this autopsy confirms from the family is that while that cannot be certainly confirmed, it still can't be ruled out. So finally, there are 60 witnesses that have been interviewed in the course of this investigation by the sheriff's office. There's likely going to be a presentation to the grand jury, and we don't know what the toxicology report will show from Nolan Wells because
Let me throw this out there. The reason why they interviewed 60 people is because it was a whole bunch of kids that was on this island, right? And they drove out there on boats. And the only way to get back from the island, of course, is going to be on the boat. I want y'all to keep in mind that this was the 250th anniversary of this country's independence, the 4th of July in Mississippi. Let's keep that in mind. In Mississippi, y'all. So my opinion is maybe, you know, it ain't as clear cut as you would think. And then these white boys down there, they trying to keep it spaghetti tight. And I'm gonna break it all the way down from my perspective. I'm gonna break it all the way down. I really didn't want to touch on this. But this dude, I ain't even gonna call him an officer, man. This dude Tatum, he like a advocate for these boys, like as if they the ones that's being accused and he feel they not the ones that did it. But he not ruling out that it was no foul play. That's something to think about, because at the end of the day, why would you defend them? Nobody ruled innocent until that makes sense. That's the way they'll treat our community. So why you not treating their community the same way? Nobody will be found not accountable for what happened to this man because of they being friends or whatever. Nah, you'll be held accountable. You'll be found guilty. Somebody been arrested if that would have happened to a white kid on the 4th of July weekend, the way it happened to him. That's facts. But they're talking about the toxicology report and stuff like that right now. So it's about them removing parts like his organs and his throat and stuff like that because he deceased, which is normal for them to do. But if y'all did that, why y'all not releasing y'all discovery? Why y'all had to wait for a second examiner to come to have another opinion on the discovery? You see what I'm saying? So it's like they waiting to see what the public gonna say, if you ask me, right? And then you got it going all the way to the political rounds with liberals and conservatives. So that's what we really here to really like break down. And you're gonna see this and it's gonna get good. And I'm gonna break it all the way down, man. I might get mad and raise my voice a little bit. I'm kind of mellow right now because this is the beginning of the live. You know what I'm saying? Y'all like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? But I'm mellow right now, but I might get a little hyped up a little bit later into this reaction. Let's go.
That is in the hands of the state. But as of right now, this is where things stand. And as a former prosecutor, I want to know what the state's autopsy is going to say, and what are the witness accounts that they are going to put forward in the grand jury.
Officer Tatum, you personally interviewed. You traveled to Mississippi, from my understanding, you to personally interview one of the young men who left the island. Whatever account is coming from them right now, in your estimation, based on what you've learned? First things first, I shouldn't say that. First things first, what did you deduce from the conversation you had?
No, Stephen A., you should say that. That's exactly what needed to be of him, since he felt like it was his obligation to take his ass all the way down to fucking Mississippi to interview these boys to prove their innocence, right? Nah, you have every obligation. Don't try to take it light on them, dog. Don't do that, Stephen A., because you feel he got a following and then I don't want to be beefing with this or whatever your agenda is. Fuck the agenda at this point. Let's just keep it gutter, and you need to really be asking this motherfucker like, why the fuck you went down there to prove these white boys' innocence type of shit. As a black man, that's what the fuck you should have asked them. But the way you maneuver your question and the way you asked them what you asked them, that was cool. I'm not mad with that. That was cool. I'm not mad with that. But you try to take the question back to ask him another question in a way to make it a little bit more comfortable for him and not make him feel like as if you're going to hit him. Now, this could be the setup for a better way of you doing the debate between them two. That's facts. You don't want to play sides. You got to be the neutral guy, right? No doubt. And that's going to prove at the end of this video of this reaction when I say that. So I'm peeping the way you do things too, Stephen, and that's fire. But you should have really just left that question on the table and let's just see what he say. You should have left that question on the table and let's just see what he say. Let's get back into
it. From one of the friends that was with Nolan Wells, what did you take away from that?
Let's run it just a little bit so y'all can get the question.
Public estimation based on what you've learned. First things first, I shouldn't say that. First things first, what did you deduce from the conversation you had from one of the friends that was with Nolan Wells? What did you take away from that you'd like the public to know?
Well, Stephen A., I want to make sure this is clear. I actually spoke to all the boys that were being accused. I spoke to family members. I spoke to also their attorneys. It's just that the one young...
You heard that? You spoke to family members. You spoke to all the boys, right? You spoke to family members, but you also thought in there you made sure you talked to the attorneys because they have to give you the okay to even talk to them boys. You didn't go out there. They didn't voluntarily just say, oh, yeah, we willing to talk to this black man about what happened. No. You had to talk to the attorneys to get the okay to even talk to them boys, every last one of them. And their parents was present right there with them. And I ain't even gonna call you no names, bro, but you definitely not from Stop 6. And anybody, your family members that's in Stop 6, they don't even fuck with you. And that's fact. Anyway, yeah, bro. At the end of the day, you saying, yeah, I went down there and I talked to all the boys. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, I went down there and I talked to the attorneys too. You wouldn't have been able to talk to them boys without you confirming with their attorneys. They don't trust you. As much as you trying to advocate for them, they don't trust you, homie. They don't trust you, bro. They know you out here to try to get some money. They know you out here just trying to get an interview to upload it on YouTube. They're not stupid. They're using you the same way you think you're using them. But it's making you look like a fool online, which is your platform of entertainment, right? Which is your platform of money. Facts. But let's get back into this though. Check this out, y'all. Check it out. Check this guy out. This guy. Check it out.
Man had the I wouldn't say courage, because others had reasons why they didn't want to come on the camera, but he was able to come on the camera, and I interviewed him, and I also interview another young man who was black, who was there, who had his own personal accounts of what happened. I'm not asking people to believe or not believe. I just wanted to get people.
I'm sorry, I can't let that slide. I know the video was skipping, y'all. My bad. I know. But check this out, though. You see how he said, oh, and I interviewed a black kid who had his own account of what. Come on, dog. And that black kid probably was like, yeah, man, the white boys was out there aggressive, man. 4th of July, 250th anniversary. It's like bigger than a normal 4th of July for them, like type of shit. That's how they felt. Oh, you ain't gonna talk about that when he told you that, huh? You ain't gonna say that. I know you ain't. I know you ain't gonna say that. But you're gonna say, oh, I interviewed a black kid, and then be quick to say they want to play the race card as a black man. But you throw it out there, oh, I also interviewed a black kid that had his own account of what happened. And that black kid told you, dog, like, no bullshit, bro. They was aggressive than a motherfucker out there. No bullshit, the white boys, bro. Like, yeah, they was on some other shit that night. You ain't trying to hear that. Now. I need the black kid that felt super comfortable. Think he white just like the rest of the motherfuckers he was around. And let me hear what he got to say. I want to hear what the real blacks got to say. That's the vibe I got from you, bro, because you ain't say nothing about that black kid interview. I also interviewed a black kid, and man, stop it, bro. Stop it. If you interviewed the black kid and he gave you a different account of what happened, why not explain that black kid's point of view? Because you know that black kid told you, like, bro, it was the 250th anniversary of the 4th of July in Mississippi. In Mississippi. They was cutting up, gang. The white boys was mad confident that day. That's facts. You ain't gonna say that, huh? That's what he told your ass, but you ain't gonna say that though. Let's get back into it.
The information. So nobody had heard from the young boys. Nobody had heard their accounts, and a lot of misinformation was put out there. Some intentionally, not intentionally, but it was very detrimental and not conducive for the investigation into Nolan Wells' death. It was punitive. They came out and started with race. It had to be something nefarious because these boys are white for any other reason. So I wanted to go out and hear the full story. And what I deduced from the interview and talking to everybody is that these young boys had nothing to do with what ended up happening to Nolan Wells. And also they were best friends. I mean, these kids had so many pictures, so many text messages of them being closer to Nolan than any other friend group. And also one thing that shocked me was that this was an island, not secluded, not an island with.
Let me ask y'all something right quick. Let me ask y'all something. This real shit. Who will hurt you first? Somebody that you don't know or somebody that you know? Come on now. Come on, Saints of God. Think about this now, y'all. Who will hurt you? Who will really know how to hurt you and get away with it? Somebody that you don't know or somebody that you know? You trying to prove how close they was. That's only helping the motive of them really doing something to him, bro. Quiet as kept. Only black kid, he got there with 3 white boys, and then you're going to say later that none of them rode on the same boat as him. So obviously, y'all would set him up from the get-go. So y'all don't make it seem like as if y'all was together the whole day. This already was a pre-planned play. They knew when he left, when he went with them, what they was going to do to him. They had already figured this out. Not only that, they knew how they was going to do it and what they was going to do right after too. And him going out there, talking to them, and they using him as a vessel to get their point of view out the story. Like they story-wise, they storyline, they use his goofy ass to do it. And he's trying his best to do it. But they're using him to do it. They're using him as the storyline for their alibi. Somebody that's going to believe them, and he got a following to the point where y'all pay attention to what he say. So if he come out here and we tell him this, The same way we set it up in our minds and the way we did it, and we executed it, and we really got away with it at this point. But the raise of the concerns of everything else, it kind of fucks it up. But they sacrificed that boy on the 4th of July weekend in the name of Mississippi white redneck culture. That's real shit. That's just how I feel. Call it what you want. It's not hate. I don't hate white people neither, but that's just how I feel. Yeah, that's what the fuck they did. And they pre-planned it. And I'm going to show you how they pre-planned it by what he's saying in this debate. Check it out. Because, you know, he went out there and talked to the boys, right? Y'all think about this now. He went out there. He talked to the boys. So let's get into it. Let's go.
5 or 6 people on it. It was an island where there was thousands of people there, hundreds of boats, and also a lot of people could.
I'm sorry. I got to stop it again. I'm sorry. I got to stop it again. Thousands of people there, but y'all only interviewed 60. Thousands of people there, but y'all only interviewed 60 people. Let's go.
Verify the statements that was made from some of these young men. So I really wish that we could have started at a point to say, what happened to Nolan Wells? Let's work together as a community. Let's talk to these young men, talk to other people, and let's find out what happened to Nolan instead of jumping the race.
This game, you're not ready for it.
Officer Tatum, how do you know that it was misinformation that was put out there? How did you come to the conclusion that something was misinformation? Explain that. Well, is it just according to their account or something else?
No. Initially, I knew it was hogwash because when Al Sharpton and them got on TV, they automatically made an inference to say, well, it was something that had to happen because these kids were white. It was white kids with one black boy. I mean, that there's no evidence to project that unless you believe every white person is nefarious in their dealings with black people. And so I thought that was suspicious on his face. And then they said that Nolan was the only black kid. He was not the only black kid. Many of his black friends were also at the island with him. So, you know, some of those things that started to come out, I knew that they were not being truthful about what happened.
Charles, your thoughts, your response to what Officer Tatum just said.
I don't necessarily know that the initial statements about Nolan being with some of his white friends is entirely afactual. It's a nefarious statement. Number of different white boys or number of different boys who are white. I think that the problem with what Officer Tatum has just pointed out is that there is an underpinning of race when you're having a conversation about the types of things that happen and have happened to black boys and black people in Mississippi, such that it cannot be summarily dismissed. I did not necessarily jump to any conclusion, but the history of what racial relations have been in Mississippi and how we have not necessarily been safe has caused me to take a special look at this case. It doesn't mean that I'm accusing anyone of anything. It doesn't mean that I do not believe in finding the process. But at the same time, I am not going to ignore the facts, which you just pointed out. These are facts. He may have been with other black people, but we have seen the pictures, we have seen the photos. There were a number of people who were gathered out there for the July 4th holiday, but Nolan Wells was with 3 boys who happened to be white. Those are facts.
He was with, but the thing is that it's facts without context. He was with more than just 3 white boys. That's the problem. There was over 20, 30 kids that got on 3 boats, and they all went to the island together. They didn't just travel with Nolan and just these 3 boys. Many of the boys that they're accusing, including Warren, wasn't even on the boat with Nolan.
That is right there. You see that? You see that? That is right there. They're helping him to create the motive. They need him to help to create the motive. Yeah, the other kid who was his best, he wasn't even on the boat with Nolan. If that's your best friend and y'all rocking and y'all fucking with bitches and hoes, you know what I'm saying? Y'all taking the boat to this island, you ain't about to rock with your homie? Stop it. It was something fishy from the beginning. I'd have been right next to my nigga. I'd have been right next to my homie. Think about it. I'd have been right next to whoever, this white boy, if he my best friend, whatever, man. I'd have been right next to, man, I'm saying, Snowflake. I'd have been right next to Snowflake, man. Real nigga shit. I'm just saying. We out here together, dog, and we gonna rock. We rocking, bro. We a crew. Who gonna ride on different boats? That go to show right there something was fishy. Just let him keep talking, trying to defend these boys. But in the real world, the way we look at shit, you ain't looking at it because you just trying to get a pass when you go to Mississippi. But I hate anything happen to something like this to one of your kids, though, dog. I hate for some shit like this to happen to one of my kids, bro. But I would like to see what the fuck you would do if your fucking son was with a bunch of white boys and some shit like that happened to him. I guess Officer Tatum on the motherfucking investigation, ain't he? I bet you that. I bet you you'll be knocking at all them parents' doors that he was with, huh? I bet you they be got restraining orders and all kind of goofy shit against your ass, huh? Because you thinking you above the law. You an officer. You officer. Yeah, no doubt. I feel you. Love your confidence. But at the end of the day, bro, you far-fetched all from the point of reality. And what I mean by that is when they telling you, oh, this is best friend. That's what he said, right, y'all? Oh, they got pictures of them, but you don't ride on the same boat with your homie 7 miles to this island? Come on, man. You don't ride on the same boat to this island with your homie for 7 miles? But y'all best friends, being you sleepovers, all this other goofy shit. Come on, bro. They was 18. Them young men. They ain't kids. Them young men. This wasn't done by no kids. This was done by some young men. Let's go.
When Nolan went out to the island. So some of those things were mischaracterizations of what actually happened. And the thing is that I don't think it's fair to say, because history has shown in part that white people or black people have had injustices, that all of sudden you project that into a new situation. Black people have done nefarious things to other black people. Does that mean that you automatically jump to saying, oh, black people must be wrong in this situation? You know, because he had his black friends there too. And why nobody's questioning them? Why nobody's saying, why didn't the black friends rescue him? What did the black kids know about Nolan? And many of them said that they saw him last when the white boys had left at 4:30. So I just think that the race should never be interjected. Nolan's friends told me, and they proved to me that they were really close to him and they were some of his best friends. They said Nolan would have been incredibly upset.
They was best friends. They rock tight. They proved to you all of it, but they didn't ride on the same boat and they didn't ride back. They don't stick together. Best friends, homies, they don't stick together. Like, man, you leave, I leave. We leaving. We came together. We leaving together. Oh, they ain't got that code? That's gone. Especially as these little young teenagers like type of shit. That none of that don't matter. Right? Man, you far-fetched from reality, homie.
At the way people are framing his death and going after his friends with no evidence.
Well, here's the thing.
Hold on, Charles. I would say this to you, Officer Tatum. I get where you're coming from. And by the way, I appreciate the context and I appreciate the reporting on your part, because numerous reports that I had read was talking about how he was the only black kid there. He was a black kid with a few white boys. And you articulating that fact is very, very important. I think that's important and fair to point out. But what do you say to folks that will ask this kind of question? He's on a boat. He's on an island. And according to numerous reports, he talked about staying behind and traveling back with a different set of company. Yet his car keys and his phone was left on a boat that he had traveled to those guys with. So what teenager do you know is saying he's staying someplace, but he's going to leave his car keys and his phone on the boat with the guys that he arrived at the island with. That does seem a bit suspicious, particularly when the guy's mother, Nolan Wells' mother, had to use some app to locate the phone, and it was something that wasn't given back. These are reports. I'm not pretending to know, Officer Tatum. These are what the report said. What do you say to that?
Before he say anything, I had to pause it, y'all. Before he say a word, brace yourself. Brace yourself for what's about to come out this individual's mouth. Brace yourself. You see, it's dudes like this that really be breaking up the black community, because he's an Oreo. If you know, you know. He's a fucking Oreo. And it's not about not fitting in with the people, right? It's about what you feel you are. You don't even define yourself as a black man. I seen the clip of you not even defining yourself as a black person. You say you are more recognized as an American first before black. Oh my God. Oh my God. This guy right here on the right of y'all screen said he recognizes himself as an American first. Oh, it's the same guy that's about to defend these guys and say some stuff that's very, very, very offensive to the black community. But for all the real racist, deep in their heart, racist white folks, they fucking love him. And he know it. So I don't know if he milking them and have, like, he's playing like both sides, but he went out there to get a story. Now, did he get the story? We listening to him tell it now, right? But at the end of the day, you don't even have all the evidence, but yet you on their defensive. We not even accusing them, but we want answers. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you guilty with them because you're Oreo. And like I said, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Check this shit out, man. What this dude about to say, as far as like when he says mama, oh, she never did that. How the fuck do you know? How you know that she didn't GPS the phone? And it's a lot of other gaps in his story that I'm gonna break down. Let's go. Let's just get straight to it. Let's go.
And this is where I feel like Benjamin Crump and them should be sued for them putting out this information without facts. Let me point the facts out. Without context, it sounds bizarre. But when you put it in a context that a lot of people left their phones on the boat that left. Many kids came to get their phone after they left the lake. Nolan was with a girl. It's not shocking that Nolan would have said, hey, man, you guys had to leave, because they had to leave in an emergency situation.
Man, that's cap. I don't care. I don't care if them kids was in the water. Them kids got phones that could go in the water today's day. You heard? Them kids got phones that could get wet. Ain't nothing gonna happen to them, nothing. All of them got the little waterproof iPhones and shit. Stop playing. Stop fucking playing. On some real nigga shit, them kids ain't leaving no phones on no boat and all that. They'll sit their phone on the boat. They ain't leaving it. They'll sit their phone on the boat probably while they swimming shit. Then they get out. They taking pictures. They right back in their fucking phones. No kid about to leave their phone. None of them. Try to take my son's phone. See what he do to you. See what he do to you. I'm the only one that could take that motherfucking phone. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Yeah, he 15 years old. I'm the only one to be able to take his phone. Man, them kids not about to just leave their phone on no boat. Man, come on, bro. I'm calling cap on the play right there. That's one gap in his story. Let's go.
It wasn't like they had time to prep and everything. The boat was sinking, so they had to go. And they told Nolan, get on the boat, get on the effing boat, man, let's go. And he like, no, I'm finna hang out with this girl. I saw evidence of that, and others who had sent messages that I read that said that they asked Nolan to go and he didn't want to go. Now, a lot of people left their phones on the
if you know your partner about to be chilling with a little female, right? Now it's cool for one person to ask or whatever, but multiple people like, man, come on, Nolan, we gotta go. Come on, Nolan, we have to leave. Come on, Nolan, we have to leave. I was telling each other, man, you text him, say we gotta leave. You text him, say we gotta leave. You text him, say we gotta. Man, the play was already in motion, and your stupid ass thinking that this is the you feeding into the timeline that they're giving you. So basically, they telling you, look, man, he text him, dude. He text him like maybe 50. They were telling each other like, man, text him, text that phone. They already know what they doing to the little nigga. Text that phone. They text it. They'll wait 10, 15, maybe even 7 minutes, 8 minutes, maybe even 3 probably. Who knows? You know the timeline. They showed you the messages, right? You got the proof. Then all of a sudden, another one. Come on, Nolan, man, we gotta leave. Come on. Like as if y'all waiting on him, but yet y'all really probably watching this kid die right now. Y'all watching this kid be sacrificed right now. And y'all gonna claim that it was something that was happening with the boat sinking, which y'all probably ran the boat into a rock and really made it sink like that just to collaborate y'all alibi. Now, let's get even deeper. You got multiple texts coming from multiple people to one phone, right? That y'all got control of. And I'm gonna show y'all how y'all got control of it. Let him keep talking, and I'm gonna show y'all how y'all texting the phone and reading the text at the same time. Let's go.
Boats because they're sitting in chest deep water, and it's a bunch of people out there. The reception is not very good. So most people did not have their phone with them. Now, the phone and the keys situation, people need to understand the context. Nolan never brought his keys with him because they were on a boat driving 7 miles out to an island. His keys had always been at the residence where his car was. So when the guys go back, they text Nolan's mother. This is where it ticks me off. They phone call where immediately the first phone call that was made concerning Nolan was Warren called Nolan's mom, and she hung up the phone on him the first time because she didn't know who he was. The second call, he told her, hey, Nolan had to come back. Do you know, have you heard from him?
We gotta run it back.
And then they called the coach.
We gotta run it back. Let's go.
Like they had time to prep and everything. The boat was sinking, so they had to go. And they told Nolan, get on the boat, get on the effing boat, man, let's go. And he like, nah, I'm finna hang out with this girl. I saw evidence of that, and others who had sent messages that I read that said that they asked Nolan to go and he didn't want to go. Now, a lot of people left their phones on the boats because they're sitting in chest deep water, and it's a bunch of people out there. The reception is not very good.
Okay,
so
you don't need reception, and you don't have to be in chest deep water not to take pictures and all of that type of stuff to where when y'all get back on land, 7 miles back to land, y'all will be able to post all the stuff and show how much of a good time y'all had. So stop the cap on that too. This is the point I'm about to make too, though. As he's saying that multiple people texting one person, we trying to leave. Everybody that texted them should be investigated because they was all in on a plot to take this kid's life, to sacrifice him. I swear to God, this is how I feel, y'all. To sacrifice him on that island in the name of the 4th of July, 250th anniversary. You feel me? 250th anniversary of this country independence, right? What's a better way to sacrifice a black kid, right? Somebody that you know, somebody that you love, somebody that you grew close to, somebody that you know you'll be able to take advantage of, right? What better way to do that than today in Mississippi? Let's go.
Most people did not have their phone with them. Now, the phone and the keys situation, people need to understand the context. Nolan never brought his keys with him because they were on a boat driving 7 miles out to an island. His keys.
Now, he never brought his keys with him, and he gonna say his keys was still at the resort where they was at on land, right? With his car. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Have you ever went somewhere and then take your keys? Besides, if you was to go to a valet, And you like literally at a valet to the point where like you're going inside, when you come out, they'll pull your car around. No doubt. And I know some people that bring an extra key to give to the valet. Yeah, that's rich nigga shit. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Some people do, some people don't. Bring the extra key to the whip, so you know what I'm saying. They get that to the valet. They go get their whip, and they keep their original keys, their house keys, because like some valet dudes, they're like copy your key, take a picture of your license plates, get your address, and come rob you. Y'all don't know nothing about that either, though, right? Because that's rich nigga shit. Just to let you know. So some niggas will just give a spec key. You feel me? And keep their original set on them. Yeah, that's real shit. Yeah, man. But the point I'm about to make is that he is so far off of reality. You know what I'm saying? He's so far off of the point of reality is that he defended them off of just what they showed and told him. Not putting the pieces together like, maybe y'all set this up. And y'all trying to keep every if it's too clean, if every angle too clean, it's dirty. It's dirty.
He had always been at the residence where his car was. So when the guys go back, they text Nolan's mother. This is where it ticks me off. They showed me a phone call where immediately.
Hey, this where it ticked me off too. Y'all see the way Stephen Hayes turned his head like that? Y'all didn't see the way Stephen Anthony turned his head when he said that? Did y'all see that? I paused it just perfect. Did y'all see that? The way he turned his head? He said, this is what really ticks me off. They text his mama. Let me show you how clean they trying to keep it. Now we gotta look. He don't want to leave with us at one point and be texting his phone. Now we gotta show we made it back to land. Let's text his mama and see if he made it back. And they know he didn't. You gotta cover up the cover up. They know that kid didn't make it back. They know it's gonna take at least 48 hours for whatever they did to that kid's body to float up in that water and for them to find him. They knew that already. They didn't expect him to be found that fast, quite as kept, because they probably brought his body out when they dumped him and made it seem like he floated offshore. If you was to do the trajectory from that island and where his body was found, I can guarantee you they'll feel like nowhere in the world his body could float that far in that amount of time. Not as heavy as a dead body. No, they really sink and they bloat and come straight up. So how the fuck he make his way out there? That's the question motherfuckers ain't gonna ask. Yeah, man, I know a little something, man. I played dumb. Let's go.
The first phone call that was made concerning Nolan was Warren called Nolan's mom, and she hung up the phone on him the first time because she didn't know who he was. The second call, he told her, hey, Nolan haven't come back. Do you know? Have you heard from him? And then they called the Coast Guard. So his mother was very much aware.
All right, boom. Hold on. We're going to run it back a little bit. And I'm about to bust him in the big lie. I want y'all to peep this out. And I want y'all to really understand how I'm about to connect the dots to this and put the plug into the hole. I want y'all to listen. I ran it back a little bit. Please, come on, y'all. Stay with me, man. I'm dropping jewels. Stay with me. Watch this here. Check it out.
And others who had sent messages that I read that said that they asked Nolan to go and he didn't want to go. Now, a lot of people left their phones on the boats because they're sitting in chest deep water and it's a bunch of people out there. The reception is not very good. So most people did not have their phone with them. Now, the phone and the keys situation, people need to understand the context. Nolan never brought his keys with him because they were on a boat driving 7 miles out to an island. His keys had always been at the residence where his car was. So when the guys go back, they text Nolan's mother. This is where it ticks me off. They showed me a phone call where immediately the first phone call that was made concerning Nolan was Warren called Nolan's mom, and she hung up the phone on him the first time because she didn't know who he was. The second call, he told her, hey, Nolan haven't come back. Do you know, have you heard from him? And then they called the Coast Guard. So his mother was very much aware that they had Nolan's phone. His mother did not have to track the phone through Life 360. His mother didn't come get the phone. Another parent of a black kid who was out there with Nolan came to get her son's phone and Nolan's phone. So why didn't Al Sharpton?
Okay. Now let's break it down. Let's break this down right quick. Y'all heard that? Okay. I told y'all they was already texting a phone that they already had. They already know what they did. They text his mama from his phone, like he just said. So she knew that they had his phone. How did they get his phone on their boat that's sinking? And he was still on the island wanting to kick it with a girl. How do Nolan's phone end up with them on shore to text his mom? But yet y'all was texting this same phone telling him to come on, come with us. It's time to go. So how it turned from into it's time to go, yep. Nolan, come on, get on the boat, to the point now we have your phone and we on shore with it now. What phone was they texting telling him, come on, let's go? And what phone did they get back to shore to the point where that the mom knew that the boys had Nolan's phone because he left it on the boat because he said he was going to chill with a girl? Am I tripping? Not only that, Nolan was sacrificed. They took his phone back to shore and they text his mom to play like as if they played in her face. They did that to play like as if they didn't know what the fuck was going on. They was playing in her face. That's why she didn't respond. She kind of probably figured what happened to her boy by then, because she had been calling his phone already. And all of a sudden now y'all playing like as if y'all so concerned with his safety. This the point I'm trying to tell y'all. She had probably already been calling, been blowing his phone up. Yeah. So when they went to text him back, that rose suspicions for me. And it was playing in her face. And why would they text her? This another one. Why would they text the mom, have you heard from Nolan or nothing? But yet all the kids leave their phones on the boat. Y'all knew you couldn't face her to give that phone to her without having her to actually ask y'all questions about what her son is. So y'all give it to another parent of a black kid that's gonna bring it to her. And she felt y'all erased the messages and stuff out of his phone, which y'all most definitely did. And when they get the subpoena records and all of that, you know, you can only run a scam so deep. They're gonna really get the truth. They got halfway through the truth, but the NAACP, Ben Crump, and just their little movement, their little team, A lot of people feel like they money hungry, and I agree. They is money hungry, but they trying to get results at the end of the day too. And it takes money to get results. And I feel they're gonna get some results that's gonna make him look crazy. So take in consideration that you got this guy that's trying to cover it up with other guys texting this phone. All of a sudden, as far as texting this phone for this person who owned this phone to come with us. The person don't make it with us, but the phone does. Just hear me out. The person don't make it with us, but the phone does. And we make it back to shore. 7 miles out where we originally started this trip. Now, 7 miles out where we originally started this trip, the same phone that we was texting for this person to come with us, we have in our possession. Now we call his mother. And we concerned for him because he didn't make it back. How do y'all know he didn't make it back? Y'all have his phone, but y'all say y'all was reaching out to him. How would you get in touch with him if y'all have his phone? How can you reach out to him to see if he's okay? How can he even call his mom? Y'all knew the answer to everything y'all was asking because y'all set it up. You knew the answer to everything that was, it was pre-planned. It was a sacrifice. Y'all did that for your country. That's how y'all look at that shit. This real redneck shit. And he defending it. And they used him, and he ain't really get no real money going down there. And every kid he talked to, he had to talk to their attorneys first. And there was certain shit they told him, you just can't ask. Don't ask nothing about this. And he was all okay for it. Okay. Malcolm X used to call them house niggas, man. The house Negro. Not house niggas, I'm sorry. The house Negro versus the field Negro. Dude on the left right here, he a field Negro. Dude on the right here, he a house Negro. That's the only real big difference between Democrats and Republicans, liberals and conservatives. That's the only difference. That's it. That's it. The ones who feel sorry for house niggas, the ones who don't feel sorry for house niggas. That's it. The ones who want to worship their masters, the ones who don't want to worship their masters. That's it. The ones who want to be under their masters, the ones who want to feel equal with their masters, or feel like their opinion matter to their masters. That's all a presidency is anyway, right? Let's think about it. That's all it is, right? If you got somebody like Trump that can win, no type of political background, it takes money, right? All the money in the world. So at the end of the day, how can we have a president that's never been that has a zero background, and how can he represent this country? That's crazy. People are dumb, lost, confused, stupid. And it's because of stupid ass motherfuckers like this here on the right. And that's just facts. Now let's get back to it, man.
Any of them, ask these boys what happened, have them show evidence, and then present it to the public. And it's because I think they wanted the race bait instead of trying to find out what happened to Nolan.
Do you know? Hold on, Charles. Do you know whether or not Al Sharpton and those guys had asked to talk to the kids, and the kids refused to talk to them? Do you know
No,
whether
they
there's
told
any
me
truth to that?
They told me that they haven't heard anything from Al Sharpton or anybody that tried to contact them. This is what they told me. Now, They showed me messages where parents had communicated and reached out to Benjamin Crump, his team, and said, we would love to communicate with you guys. Any questions you have, we want to talk to you guys so you can get the context. Also, they messaged Nolan's mother multiple times about communicating and saying, hey, if you need anything, if you want to talk, we can give you the context of what happened. And nobody reached out to these boys. And I saw evidence of this, which is what frustrated me about this in the first place.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account.
Charles, floor is yours.
So here's the thing, Officer Tatum, we're not going to litigate that. The real issue here is that the people who conducted the investigation, i.e. the Mississippi Sheriff's Department, who've talked to over 60 witnesses in this case, have not yet presented that case or their findings to a grand jury, and they've been extremely tight-lipped with respect to what they have found and what it is that they know. Where I'm going with this is, regardless of who you may have spoke to, who Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton may have spoken to, what information they have had, we are all trying to piece this together. And so it is equally as unfair to present a certain set of facts as if this is the final context of things, when in reality, we don't know. What I will say about the overall situation is that for me, as a civil rights attorney, I am looking at this and I am saying that there needs to be a greater sense of transparency from the Sheriff's Department, because they are the ones who have spoken to most of the parties who have been involved in this case. They've conducted over 60 witnesses, witness interviews. Because that is choosing to ignore the history in America that was to play a whataboutism to try and substitute the notion of black on black crime, which is a complete misnomer as to why we should not say focus, at least note the color issues that are at play with respect to what could or might have happened to Nolan Wells. Again, not necessarily being accusatory. And it's just as disingenuous for you to go further and say, well, we must assume, or it seems like Crump and Sharpton and everyone else was projecting the notion of race. That may have been in your interpretation, which I cannot necessarily argue with. But it is just for
officer, and I was a PIO. I dealt with all of these things. The police department is not an injustice when you say there's a lack of communication or transparency. The police department cannot put this information out there when you still have suspects at large. If they go and release some of this information and show their hands of what they know and don't know, then potential suspects will begin to destroy evidence. They'll start hiding. They'll start cleaning stuff. You don't want to give that information out to the public until you know for a fact that you've been able to communicate with every suspect that's out there. If you start putting out the autopsy prematurely and it shows blunt force to the head, strangulation to the neck, then the people who have done this are going to make sure they hide the murder weapon. They're going to make sure they get their stories together and say, no, I didn't hit him in the back of the head.
Y'all ain't peeping how he trying to put him up on game. He trying to tell him, like, look, if you did it like this, go on, get rid of this. Go on, get rid of this. Because he feel them boys guilty. He know some kind of way. He went to Redneck City when he went down there. Boy, you ain't never seen no... You ain't never seen nothing like that, huh, Officer Tatum? When you went down there, now, did you? Mm-hmm. You ain't never seen nothing like that. Garo motherfucking T. You went down there and got a rude awakening with them white boys, man. I know you did. And now you got to show all that shit that you was talking to them, because now they following you. But you got to show the redneck that's really deep inside of you. Show me the color that's really inside of you. That's just what you're doing. Let's go.
You don't want to project those things too prematurely. So there's no issue with transparency. And I'll say this: the reason that I'm talking about Al Sharpton and them is because the first thing that they said was that he was there with white boys. Therefore, there had to been something. And then it goes back historically. Some of them compared this to the young man.
I've heard very different messages from them when they have said we cannot assume that this is racist.
But we're not going
to cannot assume that it wasn't. So I'm going to correct you there.
Let me jump in here.
Who's that, Charles? Hold on. Charles, who said that? Who said that?
Literally during his eulogy, Al Sharpton said, we cannot assume that this was racist. And he said, we can also not assume that it wasn't.
Take your time. Hold on, guys, take your time. Ain't nothing getting edited out. Don't worry about it.
Bro, he gonna, every time my man make a point, he gonna keep trying to cut him off. He be thinking he's strong on me some shit or something, dog. Man, shut the fuck up, man. You don't even know how to properly debate nobody, dog. Nigga, you don't even know how to really have a fucking conversation without proving you trying to be right. You're wrong, nigga. You're wrong. And they got some people that's outside of Mississippi gonna be looking into this shit, homie. Yeah, you just looking for $1. I can see you apologizing if them boys go to jail. Like, yeah, man. Picture, they recorded it and everything. That'd be fucked up, huh? If you really see a sacrificial video that they did of this kid and they drowned him, and they did more than just that. Come on, man. Wake up.
Trust me. All of it is, I'm not editing a damn thing. Go ahead, officer. Take the floor, yours.
Well, let me interject. When you are looking for justice for your child in a criminal case, meaning that somebody committed a crime against your child, why do you go out and get a civil rights attorney? These Benjamin Crump and them are known for going after these cases specifically in injustices against black people.
Let me try first. Okay, go ahead. No, that's fair. No, that's fair, Charles. Go ahead.
I'm a former prosecutor. I'm a civil rights attorney.
Let's go.
Please understand how these things work. At the end of the day, when you're talking about quote unquote justice, the first reason why you get someone like Benjamin Crump is because he's a person who has experience with wrongful death lawsuits.
Black people.
So it's not about black people. No,
it is. Benjamin don't represent white people.
Look what he said. Black people. You see how he said that? Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Am I bugging, yo? Y'all see how he said that? Black people. Like, what the fuck? He got a wife he married? No, she ain't happy. Even if she white, she ain't happy. His wife not happy. He definitely got key. If he married to a black woman, this is a facade. That boy still vote Democrat and everything. No bullshit. He doing it just for the internet to make some money. I swear to God, it's a character he created. Behind the scenes, that nigga Stop 6 take cutter. Behind the scenes, that nigga Stop 6 take cutter. That's how I feel. I swear to God, probably I could be wrong. And if I'm far-fetched off and I'm wrong, right? Check it out. I'm far-fetched and I'm wrong. It's real shit. Dude is so far off from reality. It's crazy. It's crazy for him to be a black. What if that was your son, bro? And then he's saying how Ben Crump is a good lawyer in wrongful death lawsuits. That nigga said for black people. The way he said that shit, like, for black people. What? Bro, come on, God. Come on. You're a black man. I hate to see one of your kids or one of your deep family members or somebody that you really care about in a situation like that, bro. I hate to see that shit. I guess you doing what you do, keep them safe, huh? Yeah. All they gotta do is say your name, huh? Just say your name and they good. Just say your name and they good. Let's go. Let's get
Please talk. That is completely false. That is
Show me
completely
when was the
false.
last case he represented?
I'm not here to do your research for you.
No, you're the one telling me it happened.
But Benjamin Crump has a long-standing career of supporting people of all races and ethnicities when it comes to the violation of their civil rights.
Give me one.
As well as personal injury. So please let me answer your question.
Go ahead.
The reason why you get a civil rights attorney is because, number one, suits. Number two, in this situation, it is possible that there may be an element that Nolan Wells' civil rights were violated and that something may have happened to him because of his color, which is why you get a civil rights attorney. A civil rights attorney. And so that is the answer to your question.
It's about color.
You let the police and the sheriff's office deal with the notion of criminality because that is one thing that Benjamin Crump can't do anything about.
Well, let's say this, brother. Can I jump in here?
That's why you go get someone like Benjamin Crump.
Why wouldn't the kids get civil rights? Like, for instance, people were saying, why did these kids lawyer up? Well, first of all, many of them didn't even have a lawyer. They went and talked to investigators and did a lie detector test equivalent with no lawyers. Okay, so but anyway, would you think it would be weird if these kids went out and got
they also did a lie detector test with no lawyers. You heard that, right? Which means their parents knew what they did, took them down there, paid for a lie detector test, paid the people to put these questions they asked, but they didn't ask those real questions. And it made it look like they passed. They went that deep. We talking about these kids on boats. You don't think that money long? It's decent. It ain't long. It's decent though. It can make some shit happen. They'll hit that bank to make some shit happen. And don't think them kids ain't hearing about it neither. To keep their ass out of jail, all this money that their parents got to spend. But their lawyers, they in on it too. They know what's up. Go do this. You got to pay for this. You got to pay for that. Just to make it like, just in case anything come about, we can prove that we did this. They're trying to stay ahead of the game. That would make me feel like something really not right. They're trying their best to stay ahead of the game. Let's go, though. And he helping them. This guy. Let me run it back just a little bit so y'all can check this out. Let's go.
It comes to wrongful death suits. Number two, in this situation, it is possible that there may be an element that Nolan Wells' civil rights were violated and that something may have happened to him because of his color, which is why you get a civil rights attorney, And so that is the answer to your question.
It's about
As
color.
A former prosecutor, you let the police and the sheriff's office deal with the notion of criminality because that is one thing that Benjamin Crump can't do anything about.
Well, let's say this, brother. Can I jump in here?
That's why you go get someone like Benjamin Crump.
Why wouldn't the kids get civil rights? Like, for instance, people were saying, why did these kids lawyer up? Well, first of all, many of them didn't even have a lawyer. They went and talked to investigators and did a lie detector test equivalent with no lawyers. Okay, so but anyway, would you think it would be weird if these kids went out and got a civil rights attorney?
This is the fake ad you see everywhere, right? But this is Ebony, a real game. Now I know what you're thinking. Aren't they exactly the same?
Accused of anything?
They are being accused. They are being accused.
Who's accused them?
They accused.
Who has accused
Al
them?
Sharpton. Benjamin Crump.
Show me where Al Sharpton has accused them of something.
All right, they said this is what they said.
Suspicious.
This is what they said. They said they put these boys' pictures out on the internet and said he went out and they framed it as he went out just with them and something happened and we know something happened. Why they hiding phones and doing all this? He's accusing them before any evidence is presented.
That's not an accusation. That is an
accusation.
But Charles, it's a statement of suspicion. That is not an accusation.
Charles, hold on. Charles, let me chime in here. A statement of suspicion, some people would say, is an accusation. I understand from the legal, literal sense what you're saying. But talking amongst ourselves right now, when you say a statement of suspicion is not an accusation, that's not how people interpret a statement of suspicion. When you make a statement of suspicion, you're making an accusation. I mean, can we at least concede that, Charles?
What I will say in response to that, Stephen A, is to whatever extent there may have been statements of suspicion that were interpreted in that manner given early on, I think the record has been clear leading up to and during Nolan Wells' funeral that A, we don't know what happened, B, we won't rule anything out, and C, with respect to ruling anything out or not ruling anything out, we are not saying that this aptly happened, but we are not saying that we are resting until we get answers.
Can I show you where this becomes biased?
Officer Taylor, let me come at you with this. What's wrong? There's a kid now. Okay, granted, you did your homework. You went out there and you actually talked to several of his friends. Props to you for that. But the bottom line is, this kid, Nolan Wells, is dead, and he was the only one that was dead. What's wrong with, again, in the state of?
I need you to be a little bit more sensitive, Stephen A. I do, bro. Eating a salad over here, y'all. Trying to eat healthy. I need you to be a little bit more sensitive, Stephen A. That's real shit, bro. You need to be a little bit more sensitive, gang. I don't like that dead shit. I'd rather you say deceased. You're a journalist, man. Use your words a little bit better when you represent the black people, bro. The way you did when you was talking about that white kid that got stabbed in Dallas. You know what I mean? You didn't say dead, then you said deceased. You gave him respect. Let's get back into it.
Mississippi, not just with white boys. There were some dudes there as well, but he had other people there. He was the one that did not come home alive. Again, without an official accusation. What's wrong with having your suspicions raised and saying, listen, we need some damn answers. Something ain't right. He was a healthy young 18-year-old and he didn't come home alive. How'd that happen? What's wrong with that?
Now, if they had context and all the information and then they led with that, I would have no problem with it. But let me tell you this right now, Stephen A. Smith and Charles, I'm telling you right now, if a white boy was on an island with his black friends, all black, and some white folks put on a camera, that something must be suspicious because the one white boy is with all these black dudes, and something may have happened. We know that people covering it up and everything because these.
Man, stop it. It's a white dude with all black dudes. He thugging it. Stop it, bro. That's what I be talking about. He make it seem like we live the same. We don't. That won't happen. And the white boys, ask 1090 Jake, nigga. Ask 1090 Jake, nigga. Goofy ass Tatum. Man, you a fucking goofy, bro. White boys, ain't no niggas getting on no boats going to no island, man. We ain't got money to do shit like that. And the ones that do, if it's an all group of black kids, man, he in the hood with them there, the bowling alley or some goofy shit like that, man. Stop the fucking playing, bro. See what I'm saying? Like, you so far-fetched from reality because you trying to live in the white world so much, you comparing the world you really a part of to the world you trying to be a part of. Let that sink in. Let's go, bro.
Kids black, man, we'd be pissed off on that. Ain't no way in the world I'd accept somebody saying you gonna blame these black boys for doing something to this kid just because they black. That's insane. And that's what happened in this situation.
If a white boy had been on that boat with 3 black boys, we would have seen a very different.
Where's your evidence?
Let me say this. Fucking salad good, y'all. But let me say this though. That nigga said, if it was the white boys on the train, I mean on that boat, whatever, right? Like I just told y'all, it wouldn't have been on the boat, but the white boy would have been thugging it, So it would have most likely been some friction between some other another party or something, and the white boy got hit with a straight. That's real shit. And it wouldn't have been on no boats. Damn sure wouldn't have been on no goddamn boats. But I'm just saying, just in general, y'all, just in general, you gotta think about it. Ain't no way you're gonna have one white boy get killed with a bunch of niggas. No. Unless they're in the hood and he got hit with a stray or some shit like that. But nah, white boys don't know not to travel just by themselves like that. Like I said, man, look, that's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all and y'all rocking with me. Looking ass nigga, man. He tripping, bro. He's so far off. He's so far off.
Give me a case.
History.
No history. You say history can tell us everything.
We would have seen a very, please let me finish my statement. We would have seen a very different.
Give me an example
of the Central Park, the exonerated five.
Well, first of all, 5 of them didn't go to prison. It was Central Park.
Listen to this goofy ass nigga. What? Bro, the Central Park 5 got Whoa, wait. First of all, 5 of them didn't go to prison. Bro, they was all innocent. Man, bro. Fuck who did jail time. Fuck who went to jail. They was all innocent, bro. This nigga missing a bigger picture just to try to come back with like a defense. Fuck the defense. Goofy ass nigga, except that they was innocent. Come on, dog. Come on, bro. You gotta do better. Tatum. I ain't even about to call you officer, man. I wouldn't even let you arrest me, boy.
Only 4 of them went to prison.
It was actually 6 of them, and 5 of them went to prison. And I'm not.
And let me tell you how they went to prison.
I'm not gonna quibble with you.
You won't give context.
One at a time, guys. One at a time. One at a time.
You asked for an example. I'm not going to quibble with you and say, well, they're called the exonerated 5 and only 4 went to jail. I'm not going to do that. The exonerated 5. You wanted an example, I gave you an example.
That's not an equivalent example.
And there are other examples throughout history, starting with Emmett Till and going throughout the. And
are you comparing this to Emmett Till?
You asked me.
No. Are you saying that this is equivalent to Emmett Till?
You asked me for an example.
So you're saying that it's equivalent.
Where if reversed.
Okay. I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm telling you, I'm giving you examples. What I'm telling you is that if the situation were reversed, we would have seen a very different investigation from law enforcement from the actual outset. From the outset.
Let me interject.
We as a people, when it comes as a former prosecutor, because here's the thing, you're a former police officer, and that's fine. But when it comes to after arrests are made and how prosecutions are going, that's my space. That's my lane. So I'm going to speak from my lane. And what I can tell you is we do not typically enjoy the benefit of the doubt when it comes to probable cause.
That's not true.
I'm telling you as a former prosecutor, I'm not going to tell you what it's like to be
arrest people and I deal with prosecutors.
I'm not going
to tell you what it is. I have to interview with the prosecutors every time there's an arrest. And we have to go to trial.
Well, he's not saying that you. He's not saying that you don't know. Hold on. He's not saying that you don't know Officer Tatum. What he's saying is from his perspective as a prosecutor, this is what he's bringing up. Now, I granted, I don't blame Officer Tatum. I don't blame Officer Tatum for bringing up, act when he says you Emmett 1965. When Al Sharpton brought up Medgar Evers at the funeral, that's 1963. So if Officer Tatum's going to look at it and say that's what you're bringing up, I get where he's coming from in terms of the distance between then and now, but I also coming from Charles Coleman Jr. But you highlight, listen, from an historical perspective, we're talking about, we've seen things like this before, and those are just names that we know. There's a plethora of names that we may not have known that have transpired throughout history that have suffered some of these maladies, and we get that part too. Go ahead, Officer Tatum, floor is yours.
But what I'm saying is that you cannot project that. It's unfair to project that. You can have it in your subconscious that there has been things that have been done wrong, but you got to treat these things fairly. You cannot go out and project that somehow the sheriff is a racist and he's not going to do right by these boys. That's not right. Let the investigation ensue, and then
I don't think nobody said that. I don't think nobody said the sheriff was a racist. I think he just said that. I don't think nobody said that. Chad, am I tripping? I don't think nobody said that. I think he said that. I don't think nobody said that. Let's get back into it though. I don't think nobody said the sheriff was a racist. He said that.
If you see impropriety in the investigation, then you can project that. But listen, they interviewed you just said they interviewed 60 people. They interviewed all these boys the day of. Like, what did they do wrong? They did an autopsy.
Officer Tatum, respectfully, what about those who would say the same or would ask the same question about you? Are you being fair? Because just like you have people out there that are elevating their level of suspicion and jumping to some sort of conclusion attached to guilt as it pertains to the death of Nolan Wells, you're coming across as somebody who's assuming these individuals that were in attendance with him were innocent because of your conversations with them, as opposed to not getting the full context the way Charles Coleman Jr. just highlighted.
No, yeah, I accept people saying that, but let me tell you that I saw proof. I'm not just taking somebody's account for it, and I'm not saying that nobody didn't kill Nolan. I'm telling
that. Hold up, I'm trying to tell you that I saw the proof, but I'm not trying to tell you that nobody didn't kill Nolan. What the fuck is we doing? With all due respect, what the fuck is we doing for you to say that right back to back like that? That you seen the proof. But I'm not ruling out he wasn't murdered. What the fuck? Don't try to save fate and still play the other. Boy, you trying to play both sides the best you can. Hold up. Did I hear that right? Did I hear that right, y'all? Hold on. Let me run it back just a little bit. Just a tinge. Just a tinge. Did I hear that right? Let me listen again. Let's go, y'all. One time.
In the full context, the way Charles Coleman Jr. just highlighted.
No, yeah, I accept people saying that, but let me tell you that I saw proof. I'm not just taking somebody's account for it, and I'm not saying that nobody didn't kill Nolan.
Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. And this the guy you put your faith in? That what it is. This your savior? What the fuck? Bro, I gotta light me a stogie, man. I light me a Joe on that one, man. In the same back to back, right behind each other. He said, no, I saw the evidence, I got the proof. And then the very next fucking thing he says, I'm not ruling out that Nolan wasn't killed. Bro, what the wait. I've been piecing this here together all night, y'all. He said, how you seen proof that his parents haven't? Come on, man. Stand strong, man. Come on. How the fuck he see? Thank you, bro. How the fuck you see the proof? Let's get back. Let's get back into it. We're gonna calm down. And I'm gonna run it back, but I'm gonna let him keep going this time. But I want y'all to listen again, and I'm gonna let it keep going this time. But he said back to back in one breath that he saw the proof that these boys are innocent. But yet he not ruling out Nolan was murdered. He saw the proof, but he ain't saying the kid wasn't killed. I'll be goddamn. Let's go.
In the full context, the way Charles Coleman Jr. just highlighted.
No, yeah, I accept people saying that, but let me tell you that I saw proof. I'm not just taking somebody's account for it, and I'm not saying that nobody didn't kill Nolan. I'm telling you the people that they put out on the internet and said these white boys were the only ones with him, and they're getting death threats. While I was out there, somebody sent the suspicious package to one of the boys' houses. They showing up at these boys' houses saying that they killed them. Go look on the internet and look at any these videos. They got the boy pictures up there saying they had something to do with his death. They're claiming they deleting text messages. All of this stuff is incredibly ridiculous. When I went out and I said, show me the proof then. Not just what you say, show me the proof. And these kids are showing proof. Their lawyers are showing proof that they had nothing to do with this. They have a Life 360 just like Nolan did. Their Life 360 showed that they were not on the island, or at least, you know, the young man that I interviewed, he wasn't even on the island. I saw his Life 360. So, I mean, these kids, they shouldn't have done these boys like this. They should let the investigation go and then make their accusations.
So you're highlighting specifically, you're not even saying, like you just said, you're not even saying that Nolan Wells, that some vile act, that he wasn't murdered. You're saying that these boys, those are the ones that are being unfairly scrutinized and villainized by this whole ordeal.
Now he could track what he said. Stephen A. said, so you're saying that these boys, they didn't murder him. Right. Yeah, I'm saying that the ones that's accused of it. I'm not saying he wasn't killed, but hey, the ones that was accused of it, they got their alibis together. That's what that's basically what he's saying to Stephen A. Smith right now. Yeah, the ones that got their alibis together, they good. The ones that they thought did it, it ain't them. So if he was killed, it was somebody else. Don't throw off the pitch.
I saw his Life 360. I mean, these kids, they shouldn't have done these boys like this. They should. So let me ask.
You're highlighting typically. You're not even saying like that. You're not even saying Nolan Wells that the foul act that he was murdered. These fair deal. That's what you're saying, Officer Tatum. Is that accurate?
Yes, Stephen A. There were black kids there who now getting threats online too for coming out and saying something. But nobody's saying, what did these black kids have anything to do with it? The young girl he was kicking it with, they don't have her name out there. Kate, well, her name is Katie, but I'm not gonna say, I don't want her to get, they not right about her. She said that she's saying that she was with him. Like, why ain't nobody coming at her?
I've seen, and see, this is where it gets dangerous, right? The importance in this moment is to focus on the integrity of the overall process. And when I say the overall process, I'm referring to the investigation, because I knew that the girl's name was Katie. I don't know her last name, and I knew it because there were people who I was seeing in the comment section that I had on videos that I had done updating people about the case, who were asking the same questions that you have. But when you're trying to, and at the end of the day, listen, you don't know what Benjamin Crump is doing as far as investigating a case. The same way that you talked about, you know, with an investigation, there are certain things that you don't reveal. You don't know what that team of lawyers are doing with respect to trying to ascertain the facts.
I reached out to them.
When it comes to, did they answer you or did they not answer you?
Well, they answered us on the last one and refused to respond to us. I mean, they refused to engage with us.
They don't owe you that.
Well, which is fine. Well, don't act like you're trying to get to the bottom of something.
So again,
hold on. Look, hey, this shit crazy. So look, I had to fucking pull it back up. Look, this shit crazy. Y'all heard what he just said? Did y'all hear what he just said? Like, no bullshit. Did y'all hear what the fuck this motherfucker just said? Hold up, let me see. Wait, let me see. Let me add another stream right quick. Man, this guy, dog, bro. He really trying his best to like make it seem like it was Benjamin Crump them that really was the ones that was the crooks when it really was him. You know what I mean? Like, cause he like, oh, my team, oh, we reached out to him for what? Like, Quad is kept like for what? Fuck you reaching out, bro. We lost. We really do this shit. You are an officer. That's what you do. Stay in your lane. You're an officer slash blogger. Stay in your lane. Know what I mean? Like it's real over here, bro. So you trying to be on our level by getting the media attention of you feel me? That makes sense to y'all? That's what he trying to do, right? You trying to get the attention of us off of some dry media shit that you not even serious about because the next subject you're gonna be attacking like you talk about whatever, you address whatever, anything that's hot, you try to put yourself a part of. So why the fuck will we reach out to you and you see what I'm saying? Like Quad is kept, you're a fucking nobody. So let me see, man. Let me my nigga. So at the end of the day, y'all gotta hit us. Y'all gotta
Don't do the thing to them that you are accusing other people of doing. Don't make you are. You're like, well, they're not doing this, and they're trying to make
They not reaching out to the
so
boys.
they have not spoken to you.
They haven't
And
spoken to
so
the boys either.
Charles. Indeed, whether it's Sharpton or Benjamin Crump or anybody else to reach out to the actual boys who was supposed to be in attendance with Nolan Wells, officers just highlighted. Do you feel that right that they take if they're raising suspicions, calling for a more thorough and open investigation, and they have young men think that would be the right?
That legal team would look to bring a lawsuit without having attempted to at least try to get some investigative answers from these boys. Now, when in this process they do it, a different question, because at the end of the day, more information is asked, and the chance to not get multiple bites at the apple. So a strategic place, what I can fully expect that at some point they would endeavor to reach out to these boys, but it may not be this point because they may be waiting for additional information. So they're get it. So when you do it, you want to make sure.
Oh. This shit, and he got this look on his face like dude wrong, and he know he right.
But you're doing it the best way you can, and the only way to do that is to have the information that you need in order to ask this question.
Their faces
All right, I'm back. My bad, y'all. My bad. Lost signal like a motherfucker. My bad, y'all. I'm back. You say you there? Yeah, I'm here. Already, yeah.
You can ask. And the chances are you're not going to get multiple bites at that apple. So, from a strategic place, what I can tell you is that, yes, I would fully expect that at some point they would endeavor to reach out to these boys, but it may not be this point.
Yeah, I see that, man. I'm cutting out like a motherfucker, man. I appreciate you, master. You feel me? Master. My fault, man. Yeah, bro. My shit. Okay. Do that.
Charles, they drug these boys through the mother freaking mud. They put their faces online. Benjamin Crump shared this video or this picture of them in a swimming pool. That happened. That event was a week before July 4th. He didn't do no due diligence to check with anybody before he started putting it that the argument was Nolan Wells asking for his phone back. He didn't talk to Tristan or Tristan, who I interviewed.
You want to make sure that